Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today, let's talk a little bit about Magic Arena formats and state of the game because it's kind of funny. Anyway, before we get started, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The comments down below feed YouTube algorithm, and it's giveaway time. Links in the description. You can get an entry every day this time, so make sure you go back and keep coming back to the channel to view some stuff. It'll get you more entries and more chances to win. So, with all that said, don't forget there's also links in the description to the eBay store and what have you. We're having our Christmas sale, Black Friday / Thanksgiving thing. All kinds of good stuff going on. So, state of the game for Arena. Now, formats for 2024 in review. So, Wizards has come out and talked about this just a few months ago. Historic and Timeless were reshaped by Modern Horizons 3, like anybody cared. Then Standard had its first rotation of a 3-year format, rounding out the year, yada, yada, yada. Pioneer Masters will complete Explorer's Journey, so forth, so on. But the overview, which I think is funny, looks like this. For those of you who are probably not watching, Standard's right below 50%. Historic's at 20, Brawl's at about 15. Alchemy's around 8 for being generous. Explorer will say 5, with Timeless right around 4. It's almost like nobody likes the formats on Arena, except for Standard. Why is that? Well, we'll talk about that later, but in my first thoughts, just to be honest, you notice what's not on here. Legacy, Modern, formats like that we only have in paper because, well, I mean, they're on Moto, Magic Gathering Online, because the cards aren't in the sets. So, because of set actions, Standard being the most card dense format sees all the action. So, let's not toot our horn too often. Also, notice Pioneer's not on this list. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, so let's go down here and find out what they think about it. So, Explore is our home for tabletop, authentic, non-rotating play. It's built to appeal to fans of Pioneer and everyone looking for a larger rotation format. This is supposed to kind of be their replacement for Modern. As though Explorer does not have every card in Pioneer, it's fairly close, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, kids. So, when we announced the Explorer format was a bit over 2 years ago. Wow, 2 years, and Explorer has a 5% play rate. That's pretty piss poor. I'm just gonna say it. So, when Pioneer Masters releases, we think we have hit that goal. Your goal is 5%. That's, wow, is that a low bar? But hey, you do you, fam. Recent Pioneer Regional Championships gave us a great place to test this. Across Brazil, the US, Japan, we had 1,473 unique cards registered in main decks and sideboards. Cool and all. That doesn't tell us how many people played. After the release of Pioneer Masters, the arena we have all but 29 of them out of blank copies. Only 95 are among the missing cards, meaning the arena will support 99.95% of Pioneer cards used in regional championships. When a card's not in rotation, it changes the whole format. So if you're missing some cards, that means it's not the real format. So yeah. We said at the beginning that Explorer was the first leg of a journey, and we would be retiring that name when all the Pioneer decks want to play. All the Pioneer decks players want to play are available. We think we've reached that point. Have you? Have you really? Explorer at 5%, huh? Yeah, you've reached it, all right. For the love of God, it's supposed to be Pioneer. It's worse than Alchemy. Oh, anyway. Standard. So, Standard's been the format on Arena the longest. Yada, yada, yada. Foundation's coming up. The best of one ban on Leyland Residence is something they thought would help. I mean, there's lots of things to talk about here, but let's be honest. You may not play standard a lot in paper because of the rotation and this and that and the other. However, because Arena is free to play and they give you cards, it's easy to make standard a popular format. It's just going to be a thing. And really what they're trying to do here is probably to make sure that that standard stays at that 50% of the play pool. For the simple fact that people want to buy new cards, they have to keep buying standard cards. Once you have places like Historic and Brawl and what have you, it becomes real hard to make money when nobody needs cards. Not that anybody should be paying for Arena. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. It's a ripoff. Get the cards you need just by playing. Anyway. Now it talks about digital formats. This ought to be interesting. Alchemy, which, if you didn't see earlier, is sporting a healthy 8%. Ooh. Alchemy is our rotating digital format built to provide fluid, diverse meta. I got that wrong. Target players who play a lot of games each week. I play every day, and I don't touch Alchemy unless they make me. Mono Red is strong in Alchemy. Oh, who would have guessed? So yeah. I don't see Alchemy being very good. I mean, for the love of God, it's at 8%. What? I mean, we know Explorer sucks. We know Alchemy sucks. Timeless is gonna suck. Anyway. So Historic, our main non-rotating digital format is Historic, a place where you can focus on keeping the widest arrays of decks possible. Release of Modern Horizons 3 back in July. This is supposed to be their modern. Again, coming in at 20%, closest thing they've got to it. However, I believe if they did have real modern, it would be a lot higher. So, yeah. Then there's Timeless, the format that, look at it again, literally has 3 to 4% of the play base. Format where we prioritize the wildest possible spread of cards you can play and experience. It's supposed to be Legacy. It's not even close. Currently, every card on Arena is legal and only 3 are restricted. And it's probably going to stay that way because nobody cares to play this shit show. Anyway. Brawl. So Brawl is the Commander-ish format, but not Commander, which is why it's so close to Historic. If it was real Commander with all the cards, it would probably be up here under Standard, and the rest of these would probably be a lot even lower because people just wouldn't want to play them. I play Brawl all the time, if you guys haven't seen my live streams on Sundays. Anyway. So though Brawl is no longer our youngest format, it's still growing very quickly. Last year, its play was around Alchemies, but Brawl right now is below Historic. Yeah, because Alchemy sucks and Commander good. While the relationship has been pretty stable for a while, it wouldn't be surprising if Brawl overtook Historic in the next year. Gee, you think Commander might be better in some weird Historic format without all the cards? What's the odds? Brawl is a casual Commander-style format. We just talked about that. Giving players a fair match, no matter their commander, means we need to look at your deck, figure out how strong it is, then pair it with someone else's of matching strength quickly. Again, this is them finally admitting that you don't just get to play random people. They literally put you against people on purpose. So if you're playing a fun deck and it has certain powerful cards in it, you'll get put up against other decks who are playing EDH, or competitive Commander because of the power set of the cards in your deck. So yeah. Says they're always looking for ways to improve how well they can do this, particularly in terms of how quickly we can respond to new cards, meta shifts, and so forth and so on. I think they should just make it a free-for-all. Doesn't matter what cards you play. We should just play anybody. Yes, it might be shitty because you play really good Commander decks all the time and competitive decks. But that's part of the format and should just be the thing. Also, I would ban any Commander mana value 2 or less. It's just too easy to get them out. And it's like having free cards in your hands. Not conducive for the format. Just saying. So, all that said, their quick conclusion. The Arena goal is fast, fun magic for everyone. So, When you don't like the deck you're playing or you get hornswoggled, you can just concede after a couple seconds and start over. That everyone means we'll have a wide array of different players who want to support it. It's an aspirational target. It's also probably impossible the way they run it. Anyway, we have designed the spread of main formats. We do support to cover as many players as possible, but we know that there will always be players who wish we supported an additional format or set of cards. We think the current spread of formats presents a good variety of options, especially with the new content each will receive in the next year. But we will always keep looking for ways to provide more Magic to more people in more places. So, Arena's pretty much a shit show, and it's probably not going to change anytime soon for the next year. Because they tried to duplicate cardboard Magic in digital, so they didn't have to actually sell you anything. Much like making a microtransaction video game, and they have effed it up severely. So now you have a free game to play that no one cares about, other than just, I'm going to play, it didn't go the way I wanted on turn 1 or 2, I'm just going to concede. So, because you don't have to wait for the next round, you can just concede and start again. Anyway, though, that's the slowdown of the arena format breakdown. I think it's funny. I think you guys might get a kick out of it. I am kind of shocked that Standard is so high, and I expect Brawl to overtake Historic in the next year, and maybe even overtake Standard, because people still like playing Standard. The only thing that's really going to save it is if Brawl... Well, I mean, what's going to save is the fact that Brawl can't be used for qualifiers and whatever, and other things like that on Arena. So Historic, Standard, Alchemy, all these other ones that can be used for regional qualifiers will stay a little popular because people will have to play them if they want to get invites. And Brawl is not in that category. However, with Brawl being as popular as it is, it may not matter, because people may just say, you know what, I don't care about the regional stuff. I'll just go play at my local LGS and play Commander online. So, all that said, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table.